Hello, everyone. This is 5 Minute Marketing Tips with Jared from Hivelead. And today we are happy Thanksgiving, by the way. If you're viewing this video, this is around Thanksgiving time. We've got Thanksgiving on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. And today we're continuing to talk about YouTube ads. And we're going to start getting into some details and start to get into some more interesting kinds of discussions. So this video may go a little bit longer than 5 minutes today, but today we want to talk about how can we target with YouTube. So we've talked about kind of when and why you use YouTube ads. So we want to talk about the targeting today. Later we'll talk about a little bit about some research tactics to create your target persona. But what I did here is to click on to create an ad group in a YouTube ad campaign, and you can see all the different ways of targeting that you've got. The first one are custom segments, and these are audiences that you create, and there are different ways that you can create these audiences. The first is to add in Google search terms. So let's say that we want to do a roof. We're looking to get our roofing done. Okay, roofing company. All right, and so we can start to add in all sorts of Google search terms. You would want to pull up some sort of software or the keyword planner, excuse me, in order to um, uh, figure out what sort of keywords people are searching for locally in your area, and then you would want to add those in, and that could be one ad group. So each one of the different kinds of targeting that you're doing, you're probably going to want to stick it into a different ad group so you can see if that tactic is leading to conversions or not. And this is a little bit broader. So this is people with any of these interests or purchase intentions. If you go over here, your ads will reach people with whose interests or purchase intentions based on your campaign settings, such as marketing objective or bidding strategy. Basically, it's just a little bit broader reach than people who absolutely just Googled what it is your product or service is. And so if you're researching and you find that there's not a lot of people searching in your area for roofing services, then you're probably going to want to use this one. If there are a lot of people and a lot of searches, then you'll want to be more specific and you'll want to use this one. Next, we can target, and let me move this over here. It's out of the way. You can target people who browse type of websites. So you can go to your competitors' websites and you can enter in their URLs. And if they have Google Analytics, which most companies do, you're going to end up showing your ad to those people who had gone onto your competitors' websites. Always a good one to test. All right. And then there are people who use type of apps. Rarely do I use this one, but and there are some cases where this definitely applies. If you click on this one, you can start to search for apps to add. So if there are people that use a certain kind of app, that's going to be an interesting way for you to test and to target. Rarely do I use it, like I said, but it's possible. All right, let's move this back over here where it belongs. And I'm going to go cancel because I'm not going to apply those. The next thing that we can do is called remarketing. So these are simply audiences that you have set up on, let's say, your website or any of your web properties. You have analytics on it and you have set up and you have started keeping people's information that have come onto your property or have taken a certain kind of action. And so those are your remarketing lists. And then additionally, we can add this in this third bucket, interest and detailed demographics. Now, what this is there are really four kinds of things here. There are affinity segments. The affinity segments are pretty much the equivalent of a lookalike audience in Facebook. These are people that are like another segment or another group of people. So if I click on it, I'll give you some examples. These are people that are like people that are in banking and finance or looking for those products or services, et cetera, et cetera. So they're very similar to I don't know if you're familiar with lookalike audiences in Facebook, but these are people that look like your target demographic, and so you would pick something. Detailed demographics these are very detailed kinds. You have the same kinds of demographics, but like there's some interesting ones in here that have to do with a job. So let's say if we're looking for someone maybe based on company size or they're interested either in HR or something along those lines, this is useful. And then you have life events. So like if they just got married or something like that, like check out this one. This is useful. People who are about to get married have recently gotten married. And then you have in-market segments. These are people that are in the market for whatever it is that you happen to be selling. And there are a ton of different kinds of uh, options there. The best thing that we do usually is searching. So if we're going to do roofing company again as an example, roofing services, in market for roofing services, bam, that would be one that I would pick and run. And so we've got all kinds of options that we could scroll through. Most of these are in market audiences or segments. And then, we've got some other interesting affinity segments and so forth and so on. And the good thing is that you can also add these in as negative lists. So you could technically add in these as negatives. Um, and then we've got our demographics. So we can filter all of that through these demographical categories. So we could say household income, parental status, age, gender. This is useful to a point. If there's a huge amount of traffic for your product or service, that's possible. And we've gone over 5 minutes, I apologize. Then you're going to want to leave unknown unchecked. If you don't have, it's going to be hard to get traffic, or you think it is, then you're going to want to leave it checked and then filter it out at a later date and see what's going on with that. All right, so these are your different kinds of targeting. As you can see, you can really target whoever you want, and should be able to figure out what kind of targeting that you're going to need to do. And then finally, we can add direct placements once our campaign is ready to go. And the direct placements can be added really at the ad group level. So let me try to show you an example here. And so we usually create we have some software that comes up with direct placements. So let's say we're gonna create an ad group, and we come here to placements, and we have software that does this. You can try to kind of just manually do it and do some research on YouTube, but you can actually put exclusions and placements that are direct. We click here. And you can also kind of search. You've got channels, videos, etc. But let's say roofing tips. We can search like this. Like I said, we have our own software. And then we can come down here. And we can start to click. You can actually open these channels one by one. And we can have a separate ad group that just targets people based on direct targeting like that. So anytime that someone who's in your target audience comes to this video, or anyone who comes to this video, you can target them as well. Sometimes direct placements can be your best bud. So it's definitely something you want to try. All right, so that's pretty much an overview. There are a few other things that we could talk about, but this video is getting too long. Those are your targeting options. I just came in here to one of our own campaigns to take you in here so you could just dissect it and see what it looks like. This is kind of a dummy account, so we're not really running campaigns from it right now. But those are your basic targeting options. As you can see, there's a lot there. So you should be able to hit your target persona. Next, we'll talk a little bit about finding out about who your target persona is and what they're like and how you can research that. This has been 5-Minute Marketing. Happy Thanksgiving. Hit like, hit subscribe, whatever you can. And I'm looking forward to continue talking about YouTube in the future. If you haven't seen our videos, jump on our YouTube channel, and you've got the first two in this series of YouTube ads. We'll be breaking it up periodically, way over 5 minutes, but I think it's going to be worth it for you. Get ready for next week's video. We'll talk a little bit about the research process. Thank you.